Hey guys, hey, I'm back. I'm going to try and finish the laws of awareness that John Maxwell shared with us. Now, again, if you do not know who John Maxwell is, I highly encourage you to go Google him. He's a phenomenal person. Um, I started last 2 days ago, I believe, 2 or 3 days ago, talking about how do you like what you do? And if you don't, then he says you need to quit now. Now, we have to be smart about that, okay? We don't just quit our jobs or quit our marriage or quit, whatever relationship we're in and then just bounce. We don't do that. We have to be smart. Okay. Now, he did mention this. Also, we need to be fulfilled in our heart because it's difficult to live a life if we don't have our heart fulfilled. Okay, so that's where I stopped last 2 days ago, I believe. Now, the next question that he mentioned was, what would you like to do? Like, for instance, me, and all of this stuff is going to be based on me. I'm going to be raw and open and vulnerable. So for me, it's like, what would you like to do? And I know for a fact I like to serve, I like to help, I like to give. And I pinpointed that, but at the end, I haven't done any of that. I am being completely honest. I haven't done any of that. And when I sat down with myself and just try to be aware of where I am at the age of 42, a mom of three, and a wife, and self employed, am I living to my greatness? Am I doing what I love to do? What do I love to do? So all these things started going through my mind. And then I said, I like to serve, I like to help, I like to give, and I haven't done any of that. And that was just a huge eye opener for me. So, you guys, do you like what you do? Yes, no. And if your answer was no, what would you like to do? Okay. Now, this is huge. Here I go again. This is huge. Is he mentioned this? He mentioned never leave something, always go to something. Now, again, I'm always going to be talking about my personal experience. Okay. And this, you guys, all of these questions, you could apply it on any area of your life, whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you have your dream job or not, or all these things. Don't just This is not just about what you do financially to support yourself and your family. Okay, so the thought here was never leave something, always go to something. Now, to me, I'm a runner. Like, I don't like something and I leave and I take off, and I'm very spontaneous, and that could get me into a lot of trouble. Okay. And when I thought about this, I remember when my firstborn came to this world. Now I was a teacher for over 14 years, you guys. So I went on maternity leave, and my husband kept telling me, like, I think you should stay home. I think you should stay home. And I listened to him, and I went and I told my boss, I'm not coming back after maternity leave. Just like that. Like, I'm not coming back. And she's all like, well, okay, well, of course, if that was my decision, she had to honor that and respect that. And then I got home, and, a couple of weeks later, whatever, I panicked. I remember going into panic mode of, what were we going to do financially? Like, what if I didn't have a job, after I was ready to come back? Like, I just started panicking. And what did I do? I went and asked for my job back. Well, it was obviously too late. She had rehired and offered a contract to someone new. And then I was really panicking, right? Because now I was home, and now I was not where I had planned to go. I just took off. I left work, and I did not have something planned where I was going. So he says, never leave something, always go to something. Know where you're going. Don't just take off like me. Don't be a runner. Just have a plan. Sometimes we need to sit still and just not react on our feelings, on our emotions. Okay. And he says there's a relationship between finding your passion and reaching your potential. So I thought it's hilarious because people say, "Oh, you got a lot of potential." What he was saying, that when you hear people say that, people are telling you that you're not good at what you're doing yet. You could probably be there because you have potential, but you're not where you are, at your fullest. Sometimes we think that we're doing really, really good, and they're like, "Oh, there's a lot of potential there." So we need to keep trying, okay? And then he mentioned this. He asked, can you do what you like to do? Now, this is huge because I have seen way too many people try to do something and they're just not good at it. And this is where he says a lot of the times we have to be real friends to people and say, "Hey, buddy, hey, girlfriend, um, I know you want to, sing, you want to be a singer. Um, I don't think you got the voice for it. You got to get some training. You got to do this. And he was just being straight out. And he says, can you do what you like to do? If no is your answer, then make it a hobby. Okay. That's what he was mentioning. And I thought I was like, okay. So make sure that what you want to do, that you're good at it. And if not, then start working at it, to be good at what you do. He says that giftedness trumps passion every day. And he said, if you believe it, you can achieve it. And he says, no, you can't. No, you can't. You could want to do or be something or somebody, but if you aren't good at it, then it ain't happening. And he says, sorry, not sorry. He remembers clearly sitting down with an employee of himself, of his company, and says, hey, I think you need to go look for a job somewhere else because you're just not happy here. And that person said, yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not happy here. And he said, what would you like? What would be your dream job or your situation? And he says, I would like to be the announcer for the Chicago Cubs or something like that. And he says, yeah, that ain't going to happen. Why? Because he was not a people person. That person needed to find something where it was just himself because he was very smart at what he did. He just didn't have that people skills interaction. So sometimes we need to be just straight out with our friends and say, obviously there's a lot of, everything is in the delivery, you guys, okay? Just like when, we want to tell our kids, you could get better at that. It's not like you're going to tell your kid, oh, you suck. Of course not. You're going to encourage them and you're going to say, hey, I really think you could do better than that. It's the same thing, like, for instance, with our spouse. When we don't agree on something, it's the delivery, you guys, that we, with love, we say things to our partners or to our friends or to our family members, okay, or even to our employees, okay? Number 4, do you know people who do what you would like to do? And this is where sometimes we need to get out of our comfort zone and go ask for help. Okay? Connect with others. He says the power of proximity is huge, you guys. You get close to someone that is great, you have a better potential of being great yourself, you guys. This is where I always say that your tribe, your circle, your close knit friends, your close knit tribe circles are going to make you a better person. So choose wisely, you guys. And again, this doesn't only apply to what your financial circumstances, what your job is. This, if your marriage is rocky, find a group of people that will uplift you and speak life into your marriage and that will coach you and that will make you a better wife, a better husband, you guys. Power of proximity, you guys. Okay. And then he mentions, um, will you pay the price to do what you want to do? If you want a better marriage, are you willing to pay the price? Meaning, are you willing to sit down and have honest, raw conversations with your spouse? If you are willing to have um, a better relationship with your kids or your grandkids, are you willing to sit down and have those uncomfortable situations? Okay. And he says almost always when we stop growing, it's a price problem. That means we're not willing to go through that. We're not willing to pay the price. Being in an uncomfortable situation, getting out of our comfort zone. Okay. Dreams, he says, are free. The journey is will cost you the price. Like I said, if you want to be a better parent, it's going to cost a price of finding help to parent your children, reading books, getting into a group with other parents that could help you become a better parent. Sometimes you just, and this is totally me, you stick to how your parents raised you, okay? And sometimes that is just not the way to do things, you guys. So we need to pay the price for that to be better at that. The same thing with our marriage. Okay. Sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable, but if you want a better marriage, a healthier marriage, you need to face those uncomfortable situations. Okay. If you want to be a better grandparent, you need to sit down and see what you're doing that makes it uncomfortable for your grandparents to be, your grandkids to be around you, or vice versa. If you have a relationship with your grandparents that is not the best, what are you doing? And paying the price is, what does that mean? Paying the price, getting out of your comfort zone, asking for help, doing something differently because you want different results. Okay. So All of these things come down to pretty much these three questions. And this is after you've read this, after you've filled out your notes, he wants you to analyze these things, these three questions, and ask yourself, and then from there go on and start doing things. He says, what is my biggest objection to this price? Because remember, we're not going to get here, okay, if we don't start changing things or working towards things, okay? You want to have a healthier version of yourself. It's going to take a price. You have to pay a price. You have to probably watch what you're eating. You're probably going to have to hit the gym a little bit more. You're probably going to have to go to sleep a little bit earlier, okay? You want to be more positive, you're going to have to probably look for stuff that is going to change your mindset. Okay? You need to look at the price and what is your biggest objection to this price. Second, he says, what habits do I have that make paying this price unlikely? Look at your habits. This is huge for me because my habits are all messed up. I go to sleep late, but then I wake up early. I'm not sleeping the amount of sleep that is required for me to be, effective the next day with my kids, with my husband, with my job. So look at your habits. And then he mentions what thoughts about myself spur my unhelpful habits. What thoughts? Where is your mental state? This is huge. Your mindset, you guys. You guys have to change your mindset. Because a lot of the stuff that we mentioned last 2 days or 3 days ago, it was saying you have to be aware of your reality. And this is where your mindset comes in. Okay, I'm going to repeat them again. What is my biggest objection to this price? What habits do I have that make paying this price unlikely? What thoughts about myself spur my helpful habits? And then he says this, when you start doing what you like to do, when can you start doing what you like to do? He says, though you cannot go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start now and have a better ending. That is so amazing, you guys, because I'll be honest with you, I'm 42 years old and I had already, crossed myself out. I'm like, dude, I started so late. I just realized that I am in control of my life so late. But he says this, it's not too late. Start now. You're either writing your story or reading your story, and the only person that writes your story is you. Now, he said this, if you are reading your story, it's not the story you were created to have. If you are reading your story, it's not the story you were created to have. Live intentionally, people. Live intentionally. What are your intentions? What are your goals? What are your dreams? What is your reality? Get to it. Because you're going to just be a person that have dreams and they're never going to come reality because you're not willing to pay the price. You're not willing to get out of the comfort zone. You're not willing to ask for help. You're not willing to look at your issues and dealing with them. You're not willing to have those uncomfortable conversations with your peers, with your colleagues, with your spouse, with your family, with your boss. You're just with yourself. Okay. So you guys, I hope this helps. I'm passionate about this. I love this. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up, write a comment. Make sure you put on the notification so on my next video, you guys will be notified and we can continue to grow and live intentionally, you guys. Bye.